Let us solve one more problem on Fourier transform using that convolution property. See here, what is asked is we have been given the impulse response of the system, we have been given the input of the system, and we are required to find out the output response of the system. Now we know that the output response of the system is obtained as y of t is equals to x of t convolved with h of t. Y of t is equals to x of t convolved with h of t. Now my convolution property of Fourier transform tells me that okay, convolution in time domain is multiplication in frequency domain. That's why I can say that y of j omega is equals to x of j omega into h of j omega, right? So what we will do is, to obtain this output response, we will take in the Fourier transform of input, we will take the Fourier transform of impulse signal, we will multiply these two things, and then we'll try to find out the output response. Let me obtain the Fourier transform of x of t. It is similar to my e raised to minus at u of t. If I talk like that way, a here is nothing but 5. A here is nothing but 5. Similarly, my h of t also is of the form e raised to minus at u of t. So here the value of a is 3, right? So we know that the Fourier transform of e raised to minus at u of t is equals to 1 upon j omega plus a. 1 upon j omega plus a. In case of my x, that particular a was 5, hence it has come to be 1 upon j omega plus 5. In case of my h, it was a was 3, that's why it has come to be 1 upon j omega plus 3. What is this 2 and this 2? These are nothing but the constant, those are present here. These are nothing but the constant, those are present here, right? Now I am simply required to multiply these two. This is multiplied with this. But now, however, my job is not over. I am required to find out the inverse Fourier transform of this. Right now I am there with y of j omega. I am interested in y of t. If I want to obtain y of t from y of j omega, I am required to take the inverse Fourier transform, right? So let me try to obtain the inverse Fourier transform of this. The inverse Fourier transform of this particular sequence can be obtained through partial fraction expansion, right? So in terms of partial fraction expansion, it can be written as a1 upon j omega plus 5 plus a2 upon j omega plus 3. I am required to obtain the value of a1 and a2, right? So if I obtain the values of a1 and a2 using partial fraction expansion, the way we have obtained today, the way we have obtained in the earlier classes of inverse Fourier transform, we can obtain here, right? So my a1 here comes to be minus 2 and a2 here comes to be 2. You can very well cross verify your result. You can very well cross verify your result. How can you do that? Just go through the problems that we have solved for inverse Fourier transform, right? So a1 is minus 2 and a2 is 2. Just let me substitute the values here. It is of the form 1 upon j omega plus a, 1 upon j omega plus a, e raised to minus at u of t will have the Fourier transform 1 upon a plus j omega, right? Or 1 upon j omega plus a. So if I want to take the inverse Fourier transform of this, it could be e raised to minus 5t u of t. For this, it will be e raised to minus 3t u of t. This particular minus 2 and this 2 is constant. Let me take it outside. What remains inside is this particular thing. Hence the output response of my system is this particular task. I have used the concept of convolution, I have used the concept of inverse Fourier transform, I have used the standard Fourier transform pair, standard Fourier transform relation, that e raised to minus at has a u of t has a Fourier transform 1 upon a plus j omega. With these three things, my problem solution has really become very simple.